Mental health in law enforcement is typically examined in the context of law enforcement encounters with the mental health community, and remarkably little attention is given critically to the landscape of actual mental health of law enforcement professionals. There is a lot of literature expressing and advising on the treatment of mental health for police. However, one thing that is remarkably lacking in the body of research I have encountered is a sociocultural examination of these phenomena. Some of the issues in the literature of this topic is that it tends to take the perspective of an outsider with a lack of understanding the large potentials and response biases in officers when discussing their mental health. Potential sources of these biased responses include the barriers natural to Semmel's professional stranger, possible stigmatization of failing to manage impressions, and the notion of being removed from duty. My research, thus, is exploratory in nature to build a framework for this necessary understanding and perform a reconnaissance of the landscape of mental health in the field of law enforcement. In this goal, I am building upon preliminary research, including my interviews with officers, as well as existing data sets to draw out potential analogies in the realm of law enforcement to inform future research. Initial findings show that mental health has the potential of being used as a disciplinary bludgeon. This has been seen in the use of fitness for duty evaluations in the context of strict hierarchical command structures as sanctions, as found in the research of Marilyn Price, as well as simply the perception of officers subject to possible destruction of their employment potential and loss of status in relatively small social networks. It is not necessarily the intention of the action, as in the case of dismissing an officer for their mental health to limit dangers and liability, that must be understood, but the entirety of the calculus of experience in the officers as well. Analysis of datasets thus far have revealed a potential for individuals armed in employment to have an elevated likelihood to have committed yet justify some forms of deviant behavior. This does not necessarily indicate a lack of integrity, but instead serves to humanize this community. Past research shows that psychology as a discipline has assisted in the vetting of officers for qualities of mental resilience. However, are the officers entering the field truly more resilient than those that are not? Or can they simply learn the script and successfully navigate the bureaucracy of entry? And if officers truly are to be more resilient, should this trait serve as an excuse for potential abuse in neglecting the sociological concerns of their continued welfare?